vaguely remember
I
that.
vaguely remember Eric Butler. I vaguely remember Ellen Page as opposed to Elliot Page. Elliot Page is in the news because he shits. It's all about the he said she's. That's Limp Bizkit. Elliot Page reveals chilling transphobic attack. Okay, this I didn't hear about this. Chilling transphobic attack outside LA hotel. I'm going to effing gay bash you, you fig. Fig Newton. I haven't heard it. I heard of this meme the other day. Page Boy, is that the name of the his book? I guess her book. I hadn't heard of this. What I heard about Eric is that Elliot was bragging that she used to sleep with this other girl that was on the movie Juno with her. You know, this is a Canadian movie, I think, or maybe her first big movie about a homeless, like pregnant teenage girl, and she was apparently I'm gonna try to choose my words. Entering in relations with the female co-star. Never seen the movie. If you're a Canadian person, then you might recognize that Ellen Page was Ricky's or Leahy's daughter in the first couple seasons of Trailer Park Boys.
I did not know that. Wow, that's
Yeah, that's as
that's
you say, a
funny.
deep cut.
Yeah.
So that's what I heard about. What is this about Page Boy? I guess we're calling him now.
So as I understand it, Elliot Page, and if you look at this article, there's several instances of what you might call some Jussie Smollett type stories that just happen to coincide with the release of a book that this carbon based life form is releasing. Okay, so um, A. Elliot says that there was a big Hollywood star who said there's no such thing as gay, and I'm going to teach you that you're not really gay. And there's the other story that you mentioned about having some sort of secret relationship with somebody on set. And this, I think, is the most extreme one about they, them, sie, zim, zer being threatened in West Hollywood, I believe, somewhere in Los Angeles. Don't quote me on the neighborhood, but of all places in the world, California is where somebody has lashed out at Elliot all all a while ago, right? So this happened, a couple years ago or maybe a year ago, but Elliot hasn't had the guts to come forward until I don't know, a week or so before the book release of Page Boy, and it just reeks of absolute nonsense. Now, we also want to remember that while this is happening for Elliot, the former Ellen was on Colbert a handful of years ago, back during the Jussie Smollett shenanigans, literally crying on television, talking about how this is happening to us and this is a modern day lynching or whatever it is, just laying it on super thick on Colbert about how their community is under attack. So it only made, I mean, it made perfect sense that this person would now come out and say, "Oh yeah, yeah, it happened to me too." Like, give us a break, lady, or man, I don't, I don't know, bro. It's despicable. But
I
if you want
like
to
to.
read some of it, it's just through the roof, bro. It's just completely unbelievable.
Okay, now when I'm in Los Angeles, Elliot, not of um not of ET fame, says I don't feel comfortable like I used to going for walks in LA, the Canadian born entertainer says. See, the person runs out of you know ways to refer to them when they don't know, and then when they don't want to refer to him as a guy. And then, well, obviously this is it's like surprise to anyone who lives in LA. Like, that's surprise surprise. Page, who came out as gay in February 2014, claims that an unnamed A-list actor told him he was going to F you to make you realize you aren't gay. Sounds like early Mike Tyson at a birthday party in LA. Maybe it was Mike Tyson, but he's not an A-list actor. The stupid banner. Shortly after coming out, he purposely did not name the accused high-profile celebrity, but said they would hear about this and know it's him. The actor added that another celebrity, whom he describes only as an acquaintance, assisted, "You aren't gay. That doesn't exist. You're just afraid of men." So, Eric, it's such a big bigoted thing to do. And of course, I mean, I believe gay people exist. I think maybe I'm a flat earther or something about this. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, joke landed flat there. Um, I think that if this is such a bigoted thing to do, and the person deserves all the canceling and everything, then why don't you name them? Like, if you want to eradicate this is their excuse for deplatforming people. This is their excuse for canceling people, the hardcore leftists. Um, if you want to shame them and get people to see, okay, this is not a good thing to do, then why would you name the person? Because otherwise, what's the point of saying it? What's the point of saying that somebody did this to you other than to get people to feel bad for you? Unless somebody like pried it out of you. I don't know. And this whole thing with the book coming out, of course, Jussie Smollett thing was coming when um what's that show Empire was on, and the old Colin Kaepernick maneuver, and now Elliot Page is just out here. Oh, I've got a book where I'm trying to be Marky Mark on the front, basically. Like, give it a rest. Like, you need to dress like the guy from the Village People for people to believe that you're a guy. Is like, this is how far you're gonna go, or you're dressing like, I don't know, like, I was going to say early Eminem, but he didn't wear jeans. Like, you're dressing like an 80s sitcom dad or something. And this is peak manliness. Peak man is a wife beater and a chain tucked into jeans. And this is where this story is at these days. Let's see if we can read a little bit more. Days later, the acquaintance ran into Paige at the gym, expressing he didn't have a problem with gay people. So teenage girl at the time, or like early 20s, is going to the same gym as this person, even though they're just an acquaintance. The memoir also shares details. So this is in the book. Shares details about a secret relationship with a closet female co-star named Ryan, and a romance with Kate Mara while dating. So she's home wrecking people, and she's pretending that she had sex with another person, Eric, and then also, when asked by no one, revealing in a book that somebody anonymously like hate crimed her, let's say, or something like that, or hate speeched her in Canada or in England. It's
Yeah,
not
dude.
believable, and people don't seem to like it. Sometimes they do, but sometimes people don't seem to like it when we just don't believe stories verbatim from celebrities, and that's going to come into play later in this episode. But Elliot Page, well, with the as she says here,
He.
I had a excuse me, as she says here that she was home wrecking some actress, and there's unnamed people Jussie Smolletting her. Listen, if that actually happened and somebody said that to a gay girl, then that's like, you're pretty messed up if you barely know a person, you're an acquaintance, and you're just going to say that. Um, but the idea that you just randomly put it in the book, and then you're just like, well, I'm not going to name any names. Like, I guess the person could sue you if that's the case, if you put them in a name, but you'd have to be able to prove it. There's so many things, but I think if we're going to go down and give our rubber stamp of approval here, believe or not believe, I'm going to go with not believe.
Yeah, look, it's possible. I think some people have brought up the person who allegedly hate crimed her and screamed at her could have been a random Los Angeles transient who doesn't know what's going on, right? Like, I bring up the Doors example again, where for me and you, regular people, it's like, wow, this person's acting crazy. But for them, they're in a jungle fighting off, you know, giant animals and giant creatures. Like, there, yes. So it's possible that somebody completely out of their mind may have been screaming at her. And even if that were the case, I would think that person was on a different planet and wasn't looking at Elliot Page looking to harm this they, them, z, zim, zer. But more importantly, I think Elliot Page is the peak picture of evil at this particular point in time, bro. So if you go to that article, you'll see that photo of protect trans kids, which is completely, I mean, they want to tell us at every turn that grooming is not happening, but this is a 37-year
Yeah,
old person who is saying protect trans kids, which we know, of course, is a euphemism for,
allow
let
us to do surgeries on them.
absolutely. And then you have this weird plastic surgery in the photo below That's obviously that's not two a days at the gym. Those are not real abs that Elliot put in work to go, doing 400 sit-ups a day. But this
Oh, sure.
person is, I think this is, and maybe it sounds extreme, but I think this is quite literal evil, bro. So this person is making up stories, not naming the assailant, to sell a book, to sell a book, I should say. I don't know if I mispronounced it. Anyways, what all while trying to convince your children that they should lop their junk off after becoming famous for being the underage girl who got pregnant. I mean, think about this. Your entire life is based on all of your success. Before you became rich and famous, your most famous role that put you on the map was you being a young heterosexual girl who got pregnant a little bit too early. And that was far more realistic than anything that this person has pushed since then. And I think I and of course, the victim ideology, the victim mentality here, I believe is quite literal evil, bro. This is dark stuff.
Well, what is strange to me is, let's pretend for a second that I agree that Ellen Page was a girl trapped in a man, or a man trapped in a girl's body, which I don't necessarily believe. That's an argument we could constantly have. But when you transition to become a man, it's not enough to just, transition. You got to add ab implants. It's like like a guy who becomes a woman, and a lot of these people do, and you just get, like huge implants or something like that. It's like you've got this picture in your mind of, no, I'm going to be the hot guy now, or in most cases, I'm going to be the hot girl. It's always like taken to a level where you're just like,
It's a caricature.
well, yeah. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, she doesn't look good for 36. Obviously, like, we know, like, would that pass as a guy? I think if you didn't know who she is, I probably. But like 36, all these hormones and stuff is not making you look good. And I don't know what ab implants do to the body after a certain amount of time. I don't know what they're made of or anything. But it's just like, come on. And the wife beater, and like I said, it's like an early Marky Mark underwear ad. I'm sure that's coming, but they just act like, when this photo first got printed, they were just like, look at this hot dude, Elliot Page. You guys been missing out, treating her like a girl when she's actually this hot dude. She's 120 pounds. She's ripped. She's about to become a UFC lightweight champion, bro.
And
And
and,
I don't
and
know. It's confusing and sad.
and I think, if I recall correctly, and you can more than welcome to fact check me on this, but if I recall correctly, the photo of Elliot, Elliot,
Very good.
um, topless by the pool with the little necklace on and the swim trunks was like the first thing posted after the initial announcement. So it was like, I'm a
Right.
transformer. Look at this surgery. Like, I just spent, 60
Exactly.
grand on this surgery. It's just so over the top. And that's why I think it's completely evil. And this is it's like Dwayne Wade sacrificing his son to the demons is number one, right? Like, an NBA champion, someone who clearly knows the difference between a man and a woman, and wouldn't trade his teammate LeBron James, who helped him win a championship, for a woman. Not in a million years. Wouldn't happen. That's the peak. That's the pinnacle of this evil movement. And this
Well,
person making up stories, not naming names, posting pictures, posting, let us trans your kids. I think this is just below that.
what I also think is odd is the whole lack of privacy. Like, you've got this Hollywood celebrity mindset of, give me attention with this. I believe I'm a different gender than I was born, and you combine those two, and you get a surgery, and you're just like, immediately, let's do a photo spread with my shirt off. Like, they used to say Michael Jackson purposely turned himself white The other side of that story is he had that vitiligo disease. It's not like Michael Jackson didn't get really white and then take a photograph and be like, look how great I look as a white person. Like that didn't happen. Like that's not how it happens when you have like something that's serious and dear to your heart, and you are going through procedures and stuff. Like Michael Jackson like didn't have like a nose, they said, by the end of it. Like he had so many surgeries. Like he wasn't out parading his nose, like, because it wasn't something he was proud of. And it's just like, you want me to believe that you're just like, we think that you're just some hot guy now. It's just too much. It's just too much attention seeking. And people justify it when they're just like I said, they're like, look at this hot guy. Look, how can you say that's not? How can you deny this, bro? And it happens with a lot of things. It happens with, the pro fat movement. Oh, you telling me this like 400-pound person isn't hot? Like, what are you talking about? How can you say that? Look at this plus size model. It's always British, of course. Look at this plus size model. She's turning Australian. She's turning eyes at 450 stone in her one piece bacon bathing suit.
Turn it up, Jordan.